Rare images that'll make you say, damn, that's rare. If you watch this clip extremely carefully, you can pinpoint the exact moment these guys discovered what they liked. I guess it doesn't matter the age. Boys will be boys. This is why you should never dump water on your car wash worker or any worker in general. Be kind, guys. But what do y'all think of this? This guy just paid for a cable car ride when this happened. I feel like I just witnessed the opening to a Final Destination film. This has got to be the craziest thing someone has pulled in a car chase. This guy really just stole a car, stopped to get some gas mid-chase, took his time to fill up, and casually escaped the chase after all that. Los Angeles, man, y'all are crazy over there. Watch as this incredible woman peels a whopping 91 eggs in just 60 seconds, which is about a minute if you didn't know. I can't even get 4 done in 20 minutes. Pretty impressive. Someone built this insane electromagnetic flip-dot display grid meant to serve as a mirror for his garage. Pigeons are notoriously bad at building nests compared to other birds. Also, prepare for a lot of pigeons this episode. This is one brave pigeon hitting on a bird that will literally eat him right up. The down bad gremlin was spotted attempting to court a falcon, a bird of prey known to eat other birds like pigeons. Talk about a toxic relationship. Meanwhile, here's another pigeon that got so thick that it physically couldn't take off and fly off the ground. It kind of looks like a chicken. Are chickens just fat pigeons? Enough about pigeons, though. Look at this cool valley located in Pinglu County, Shaanxi, China. It was formed due to movements within the Earth's crust, and it's about 10 kilometers long. Back to the pigeons. We just can't get enough of them this episode. This is what they look like when they puff their chests out to impress females. Dudes really be doing the most just to get some cheeks, no matter the species. Pretty cool, though. This is the sweetest thing. You know how in Harry Potter, the wand chooses the wizard? Well, this cat chose this guy even before he could choose the cat. It's so heartwarming, it almost makes me want a cat. Almost. A Himalayan brown bear mother was captured surviving with 3 legs while raising a cub in the high, harsh Himalayas of India. Mad respect, mama bear. Zebra births are fascinating, with newborns or foals able to stand and walk within minutes to avoid predators, and they nurse for many months. Mothers often give birth at night in a secluded spot before rejoining the herd, which protects them and their foals. Foals are born with brown and white stripes that darken to the black and white of adults over several months. This clip shows how vast an Everest base camp is. They are staging areas for climbers located on both the Nepalese and Tibetan sides of Mount Everest. It serves as a crucial point for acclimatization and preparation before mountaineers ascend the world's highest peak or die trying. This massive submarine breaching the heavy, thick polar ice looks an awful lot like a comedy film Evil Villain's Secret Lair, complete with an expendable, unappreciated goon to clean up random chunks of ice on the surface. The unique thing about the Nagasaki Beach in Hiroshima, Japan, is that it features a sea promenade that extends about 145 meters into the water. And during high tide, particularly spring tides, the walkway becomes submerged, creating the illusion of walking on water. Oh, and it's also an artificial beach. I saw this clip and realized I've had enough internet for one day. Gentlemen, we will meet in the comments for further discussions. This insane pilot defies gravity by pouring and drinking a can of Red Bull upside down, demonstrating Newton's first law of motion, inertia. Don't ask me how it works. I failed astrophysics in kindergarten. I came across this video recently, and I was struck by the indecency of this starfish, Patrick Star. He's really been getting out of hand lately, and I know some sick individuals have already screenshotted this abomination to satisfy their twisted desires. Do better. I just know that if I tried this, I would be the front page poster boy for the next Darwin Award winner's entry. I'ma just stick to screenshotting Patrick's cakes instead of cars, if that's all right. You know, sometimes the joke just writes itself. I don't even have to use my wife as a cover-up this time. Technically, you'd be supporting small businesses. This clip shows the local process of making little spoons. Kinda makes me wish my wife would let me be the little spoon just once tonight. You know what? Hell yeah. I'd empty my pockets to get this fella the training he needs. There's not a more convincing panhandler out there. At first, I thought this was a toad, which is terrifying because I'm scared to death of them, but it turns out it was actually just my sister, which is much worse. This is what female breastplate armor looked like from Kerala, India in the 1700s. This clip shows the process of making braided bread, not to be confused for breaded bread or even bearded bread, and definitely not beaded bread or breeded bread, but braided bread. Now I want some bread. I blame you guys for this. These are the infamous survivors of the 1972 Andes plane crash. Stranded for 72 days in the snow, they resorted to cannibalism as their only means of survival. This is a beautiful light art installation by artist Chris Wood, which utilizes optical materials such as dichroic glass to harness and manipulate light, creating vibrant displays of color and shadow through reflection and refraction. This kid's toy is designed this way because it turns inside out to display a completely different toy. What an unfortunate design choice, though. This image shows the size comparison and difference across all North American bear claws. This is a 2,000-year-old olive tree found in Croatia. Did you know that all olives lives are initially very bitter because of a compound called oleuropein. They must be cured in a solution of salt and water or oil to be palatable. This is one of the few surviving versions of the Japanese kamikaze rocket-powered missile planes. People are now hosting Robot Fight Club. Is this the herald to the apocalypse? The end of all humanity? Where we fall to the cold clutches of the robot's unforgiving grip? Snuffing the life out of the last embers of a once great race in recompense for all of the sins of our fathers and forefathers. And many, oh, never mind. I think we've got a few more 100 years before these guys can pose a threat. We're all good guys. It was just a false alarm. In 2008, prisoners working at a Vermont prison's print shop managed to sneak a pig onto 30 police cars via the official Vermont police crest. Mold grows in houses because of moisture and warmth, which provide the essential conditions for mold spores, which are present everywhere, to flourish and feed on organic materials like wood, drywall, and fabric. It high-key reminds me of The Last of Us. This clip shows how a Chinese model live streams dresses which are for sale, switching through multiple outfits in seconds to advertise the wares. Get it? It's so sad that this is how bad things have gotten. What you're watching is an active shooter escape drill in a middle school in the USA. One school even encourages its students to fight the school shooters. May God protect our kids, man. Pause if you need more time with this. This clip has taught me two things. One, there are these toilet-looking constraints for pigeons called pigeon restraints. And two, birds take vitamin pills. Granted, you have to force them in there, but still, that's crazy. I always love it when news reporters are caught off guard. I don't know if that makes me a bad person, but it satisfies something deep in my soul. And the face she makes after she realizes, just wonderfully delectable. In the summer of 1999, Mexia Supermarket, a Fort Worth, Texas grocery store, was shut down after its owners declared bankruptcy. And then just 3 months following its abandonment, city officials discovered that everything was left inside to decay, leading to severe biohazards due to rot, decay, disease, and infestation over 90 days. The incident gained notoriety as one of the most horrifying residential biohazards ever seen. Imagine waking up to this in the morning. This might just be the only situation in recorded history where a man would do anything to actively avoid getting sucked by multiple females. I really thought I was looking at an aviation craft. I had no clue it was actually a penetration shaft.
Stop it, Tom.
The breeze probably feels amazing on that thing.
Tom! I'm so sorry, guys.
These Amish people were captured selling their homegrown weed at a cannabis festival. This clip shows Julio Parra, the owner of JP's water truck services, helping the fire department extinguish a box van fire with his water truck, even succeeding before the firefighters got into action. A Ring camera captured the moment a tornado ripped through, uprooted, and nearly flipped a house before slamming it back down, completely wrecking the poor thing. You've seen cars collide head-on. You've maybe seen boats collide head-on, but have you ever seen two trains collide head-on? This video shows the brainwaves of a man experiencing, nah, I'm just kidding. Here you go. This was the moment a head-on train collision was captured in Opal, Mexico. Okay, now back to the other clip. This video shows the brainwaves of a man experiencing an epileptic seizure. It causes sudden and excessive electrical discharges to occur in the brain, which in turn causes nerve cells to fire uncontrollably. This is how phone companies conduct USB port durability tests. They do this for hundreds or even thousands of cycles to simulate wear and tear alongside physical inspections to check for structural integrity. In 2013, a dog named Killian saved a baby boy from an abusive babysitter when he alerted his owners by growling and standing between the baby and the sitter whenever she was there. This was the moment a vehicle flew over all the lanes of traffic on a New York State highway. The 70-year-old driver fortunately escaped with minor injuries, and no one else was hurt. This is the world map used in North Korea and other countries in that region. It just looks weird, dude. I never knew scorpions were such crackheads until I saw this clip. This scorpion pinched a hole in a roach's head, only to then sting it in the hole it made. Like, damn, bro. The poor roach didn't deserve the brutality finisher. Pouring glyphosate, a herbicide, causes turbulent flow, a type of fluid motion where particles move chaotically and irregularly, unlike laminar flow. This was the moment a Spanish Air Force EF-18 Hornet pilot performed an emergency evasive maneuver to avoid a flock of birds during the Pigeon air show in Spain. I'm sure this footage of a construction worker using a pair of improvised climbing boots to navigate a large steel beam has OSHA choking in their BDSM corsets.
That was a pretty good joke, sweetheart.
You think so? How about this one? This isn't DIY, it's more like DIE.
You really should have quit while you were ahead.
I never thought I'd see a crossover this sick. This Mando Lightyear fusion is officially the coolest cosplay to ever exist on the internet. This was the moment a kind stranger used their body warmth to free a kingfisher whose wet feet were frozen to a metal pipe in Oostzaan, Netherlands. Human beings can be such sweethearts. These extremely fatal high-speed stunts are part of an old Saudi Arabian Arabian tradition known as hajwala or tafit. They were performed on public highways and desert roads in the early 2000s, often leading to numerous casualties. Hajwala has been declared an illegal activity, but is still secretly practiced today in restricted areas. This oddly satisfying clip shows how clothes in factories are buttoned up before being sent off for packaging. This is how this suicide bomber got his asshole blown out, literally. Abdullah al-Asiri was an al-Qaeda operative who made an assassination attempt on Mohammed bin Nayef, the former Saudi Arabian prince, by concealing a bomb in his anus. He was granted an audience with the prince, got up face-to-face with him, and detonated the bomb, but his body took most of the blast, killing him on the spot. This was the moment a group of hikers froze still after encountering a majestic mountain goat at Glacier National Park in northwest Montana. In line with wildlife regulations, the hikers gave the animal as much space as possible to avoid hostility. Ever wondered where flight attendants go to unwind mid-flight? This literal behind-the-scenes footage shows the cabin crew's resting area aboard the Boeing 797-9 Dreamliner aircraft. The loft is located in a hidden compartment at the rear end of the craft, directly above the main passenger cabin, and features essentials needed by the crew. This is an image of the Shanidar Cave rooted in the Zagros Mountains of northern Iraq. This significant archaeological site was believed to be the home of 10 Neanderthals who lived over 65,000 years ago, whose remains were found in the cave. This is an extreme close-up of how this adorable snail eats a lettuce leaf. My poor heart, who knew they looked so unbelievably cute when eating? This is close-up footage of the iron humanoid robot, Xpeng's latest invention, recorded at their 2025 AI event as proof against online accusations, claiming their humanoid robot was simply a staff member wearing a sophisticated robot suit. So this is how waste is collected in European cities. Large underground containers are attached to smaller surface-level bins concealed below the ground. This collection process improves waste management while maintaining urban aesthetics. This footage of an offshore oil rig shows how excess gases produced are routinely burned off through a flare stack, a safety system designed to prevent catastrophic explosions by safely controlling the combustion of volatile gases. Did you know, in order to perfect his role in Terminator 2, Robert Patrick was trained to fire a gun perfectly without blinking? This isn't a scene from Moana. It's actually what the Niagara Falls look like at night. I was shocked too. What could this guy possibly be training for? This is the kind of stuff people do after they max out every stat and beat the final boss. Bro's doing like 3 workouts in one. My ego tells me I could do the exact same thing, but I know the only thing I'd be able to replicate here is wearing the same hat to work out. I don't know why, but anytime I see this clip, I imagine the gibbon swinging over and blasting the song.
Move, bitch, get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
As a way to assert dominance. This has to be just some absolutely terrible luck, because what even are the odds of this happening? It almost feels like the bike has a personal vendetta against this friend group. Don't worry, they're all okay. I need y'all to stay with me now. I swear it'll all make sense. So my wife Toodles and I got into a fight recently over who got the cold side of the bed next to the wall. I won the argument, claiming I had to have it because I was carrying our future children, which technically I am. Anyway, before she banished me to the couch, she showed me this video and said I'd have to outrun this monstrosity before she lets me back in bed. I kicked her out. I have no idea what's going on here, but I want to join them so bad. This amazing display of free will was captured in Colorado. Is this how y'all get down over there? I certainly was not familiar with your game. I apologize, Colorado. These dark-skinned bandits took advantage of this situation to steal some oranges from this broken-down truck. Wait, who did you think I was talking about? I meant these elephants. Apparently, they do this a lot, and there are even cases where they flat-out stop trucks carrying sugarcane and blatantly rob them in daylight. This photo of some North Koreans was taken at the Pyongyang International Film Festival, capturing their reactions while watching Mr. Bean. And you know what? I absolutely get it. At first, I thought this was a manifestation of a great fourth-dimensional cosmic force so far beyond our comprehension as mere mortal beings existing on the third-dimensional plane that the mere attempt at trying to comprehend its presence would fry our simple noodle minds. Turns out, it's just a shade net that was ripped up and swept around by the wind. Initially, I thought this was a clip of my sister and she'd somehow grown a beard. Turns out, this is the Amazonian black-bearded Saki monkey. Unfortunately, they are critically endangered. My calves hurt from watching this. Imagine asking someone what their PR was, and they said a freaking Jeep. This has to be what they call dad strength. This photo of JFK posing with his lifelong friend Lem Billings was captured in 1933. This was Rex's last day on the job before retirement, so the entire precinct surprised him with a tennis ball surprise. Thank you for your service, Rex. Live a good life. A fast-acting group of friends in Maryland sprang into action when they spotted a vehicle linked to a suspected child abductor right after an ambulance Amber Alert. Their swift response directed the police straight to the car, playing a crucial role in safely bringing the missing child back home. This is just the sweetest thing. This little big sister spotted a forklift approaching her and her siblings and, without hesitation, spread her arms to protect her younger siblings. Meanwhile, back when we were kids, when we were sleeping, I'd place my younger sister closer to the door. Just in case kidnappers came, they'd take her first. Blue whales are the largest animals on Earth, weighing up to 200 tons with a heart the size of a small car. It's scary to think that megalodons were about this size back then. This is how frozen fish is unloaded. Just chuck one fish at the pile, trigger the fish avalanche, and run for your life. OSHA's gonna have some fun with this one. I saw this video the other day, and it still cracks me up to this day. From their reaction, you just know the cows talk about this later when she is gone. This fire tornado was captured in Sao Paulo, Brazil, just a few days ago after it formed during an active blaze on a sugarcane plantation. I have never seen this many rock shrimp before. This guy is actually in rock shrimp heaven. He's just scooping up hordes of the stuff. How incredible. Apparently, there are some roads in Ukraine that are covered under anti-drone nets, the only protection against the relentless Russian drone swarms. This is a Dong Tao chicken, or the dragon chicken, a rare breed originating from Vietnam and historically bred for Vietnamese royal families and mandarins. They are still considered a delicacy and a symbol of prosperity and social status in Vietnam. This clip shows the striking phenomenon of blood rain on Hormuz Island in Iran. This natural event occurs due to the island's unique geological composition, specifically its high concentration of iron oxide in the soil. This is the intimidating defensive display of the rhombic egg eater, a non-venomous snake mimicking venomous adders and vipers to intimidate and ward off predators. A man bought a house next to his ex-wife's and installed a $7,000 12-foot bronze middle finger statue aimed at her window and lit it with spotlights facing her yard. There's something satisfying about watching a cowboy run down and lasso a bull. He makes it look so easy too. I feel like even I could do it. Apparently, the guy who took pictures of Einstein's office right after his death used a bottle of scotch as a bribe to get into the room. This has to be one of the greatest videos the internet has ever seen. Imagine their reaction when they realized a security camera captured this epic moment. This mysterious sealed envelope contains the last words of the founding father of Czechoslovakia, Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk. He wished that it would be opened on the 19th of September, 2025, which is today. Here are a few things that are way bigger than you think. Number one is the Titanic, and this is what it looks like when placed next to its human workers. Number two is the largest mountain in our solar system, and this is what it looks like next to Mount Everest. And number three is Yo Mama. Imagine catching a fish and celebrating only for this to happen. Poor guy probably thought he was being replaced and saw himself out. Fortunately, he was rescued right after. Just a few days ago, the Nigerian chef Hilda Bashi cooked nearly 9 tons of rice to break a Guinness World Record. Guinness World Records even commemorated Miss Bashi's incredible feat. Her West African dish tipped the scales at an astonishing 8,780 kilograms. An ice shove, or ice tsunami, occurs when strong winds or currents push loose ice from a large lake or ocean onto the shore, creating piles of ice that can be several feet high. This guy built a realistic human animatronic and hung it off the edge of his roof. It was so convincing that firefighters showed up to rescue it. This is the first official look at Ryan Gosling and Flynn Gray in Sean Levy's upcoming Star Wars Starfighter. This clip captured the moment a turtle slapped a manta ray that was just minding its business. A slapping turtle. This was the exact moment Jung-Ho Lee, the South Korean professional baseball outfielder, forgot how many outs there were and proceeded to throw the ball into the stands. Here you can see the realization of what he'd just done sink in. So this is amazing. This is what these extras were spotted doing during their breaks while on set. I mean, if you think about it, it's a pretty natural thing to do when dressed as a zombie. You could even say they're the moonwalking dead. There are now these AI robots that can give people massages, which I am strongly against. I mean, think of everything that could go wrong. One miscalculation and you're the opening shot of a Final Destination film. And what about happy endings? How would that even work? What you're looking at is a breathtaking view of Tokyo. I am so jealous of everyone that's been here. I want to go so bad, maybe one day. This was the moment ICE agents in Chicago tried and failed spectacularly to apprehend a food delivery guy who managed to evade and escape every single one of them on his bike. This image shows Trump depicted as a demon in a Hindu festival in India dedicated to the goddess Durga. This woman has cataplexy, a sudden and involuntary loss of muscle tone that is typically triggered by strong emotions such as laughter, surprise, or anger. The episodes can range from slight, barely noticeable weakness, like a drooping face or buckling knees, to a complete collapse of the body. So if she doesn't fall asleep when you tell a joke, you know it was bad. This is the world's first megawatt-level airborne wind turbine designed to harness stronger and more consistent high-altitude winds. The S-1500 uses a helium-filled aerostat to lift power-generating equipment to altitudes of up to 1,500 meters where it captures wind energy. This is the Son of the Earth, a sculpture picture of a giant sleeping baby in the Gobi Desert. Created by Professor Dong Shubing of Tsinghua University, the artwork symbolizes humanity's harmonious coexistence with nature and serves as a reminder to protect the earth. They had to dig out this giant turtle that was stuck in the sand. I just know bro used Apple Maps because my glorious Android Google Maps would never mess up this horrendously. These are photos of an 18,000-year-old puppy named Dogor that was found frozen in Siberia. What you're looking at is the broaching process. It is a high-precision metalworking technique that uses a multi-tooth cutting tool called a broach to remove material from a workpiece by either pushing or pulling the broach over or through it in a single pass. By the way, I know exactly what y'all are thinking, and yes, when they started, the broach said he'd put in just the tip. This is an image of a house cat suffering from myostatin, a rare condition that causes muscles to grow excessively large. Hey, who put that there? This is the Anjihai Canyon, a stunning, colorful canyon in China's Xinjiang region, carved by the Anjihai River at the northern foot of the Tian Shan Mountains. The canyon is known for its vibrant, layered cliffs of red sandstone and gray mudstone, which create a breathtaking, ribbon-like landscape. Approximately 30 kilometers long and up to 400 meters deep, it is a fascinating natural wonder, though it has been closed for safety reasons. This family had an unusual encounter on a beach in Australia with an emperor penguin that is normally endemic to Antarctica. They're acting like they've never seen a penguin on vacation before. That is one giant pothole. This road in Bangkok suddenly collapsed this morning. Officials believe the collapse was caused by the ongoing construction of an underground train station. This is drone footage of a family of polar bears that moved into an abandoned weather station on Koyuchin Island a few years ago and have now settled in. Sources say the amount of sea blubber shipped into the area has increased by 300% since their settlement.
And what are your so-called sources?
Trust me, bro, this doctor has to be magic. Look how effortlessly he resets this kid's dislocated elbow before they could even realize what just happened. This was the site of the world's largest electronic blast at Caval Ridge Mine, where a staggering 2,194 tons of bulk explosives spread across 3,899 holes shifted 4.7 million cubic meters of overburden. Where was this option during career day? This UFC fighter, Vitor Belfort, chews on ice through a towel, a technique commonly used by combat sports athletes during extreme weight cuts to manage thirst without consuming water, which could add unwanted weight before weigh-ins. This has to be the sickest building on Earth, period. It looks like just stepping on its grounds could trigger boss fight music. Dude, imagine having an all-out battle to the death here. That would be the peak of my whole life. Oh, I got carried away. This is Germany's Kölner Dom, the cathedral home to the Shrine of the Three Magi, believed to contain the skulls of the biblical wise men who visited baby Jesus. The Yangwang U9 Extreme has hit an absurd top speed to become the fastest production car in the world. The electric hypercar is built by Chinese automaker BYD, and it just posted a record top speed of 308.4 miles per hour. This is the Festo Flex-shaped gripper, a robotic gripper inspired by the chameleon's tongue, allowing it to adapt to various object shapes and sizes. The gripper is powered by an energy-efficient pneumatic drive system, and it consists of a double-acting cylinder with one chamber filled with compressed air and another with water where the elastic silicone molding is located. I wonder if those are the only kinds of balls it can grip. This is an extreme close-range view of a massive tornado that spawned near Ray, Colorado, captured by storm chaser Reed Timmer on May 7, 2016. This guy clearly didn't watch the weather forecast before heading out that day. There was a 33% chance of pants falling. The fact that this was easily avoidable made this all the more funny. This is Kenny Waters, a man sentenced to life and wrongfully imprisoned for 18 years, who was finally released after his sister attended law school to prove his innocence. He died in a tragic fall just 6 months after his release. This is what repairing a burst sewer pipe with the freezing method looks like. The freezing method works by cooling the soil around the damaged pipe with liquid nitrogen or special freezing system. This creates a temporary barrier that allows workers to repair the pipe safely while keeping the sewage flow under control. The Dead Sea is actually a hypersaline lake, not a sea, located at the Earth's lowest elevation and known for its extreme buoyancy and saltiness. In fact, the salt concentration of the Dead Sea is constantly increasing and has now reached 35% salinity. You can easily float on the extremely salty water, but I personally wouldn't recommend doing that if you've got freshly shaved balls. This was the extremely risky moment a 9-year-old boy stopped a runaway van, preventing a major neighborhood accident. I bet his friends at school didn't hear the end of it. This giant lizard broke into a store just outside Thailand, probably employed by the owner to monitor the store. The creature, known as the Asian water monitor, was later apprehended by reptilian professionals and released back into its natural habitat. I'm trypophobic, and I hate this a lot. This is what happens when dehydrated moss makes makes contact with water. These non-vascular plants lack the internal capacity to store water like most plants, so direct water sources dry up more quickly, but not before the reactivation of the plant's chlorophyll. This footage of Robert Downey Jr. was recorded during his visit to Wall Street as part of his 1993 documentary, The Last Party. RDJ was deeply overwhelmed by the chaos and intense energy of the traders, describing them as an irritating bunch. This is Grigory Perelman, a renowned Russian mathematician who famously declined the prestigious Fields Medal and a $1 million cash award after solving one of the most ancient and complex mathematical problems in history, the Poincaré conjecture. This underwater footage shows a large octopus with a unique rarity, a split at the tip of one of its upper tentacles that makes it look like it has an opposable thumb. Divers believe it could be a healed injury or an interesting form of genetic mutation. This multicolored diamond sign attached to this structure is an NFPA 704 hazard placard, which indicates the extremely hazardous nature of the materials stored in the building. The distinctive colors of each quadrant signify a specific life-threatening hazard. This might just be the most disturbing video on the internet today. Meet Oscar, the world's first living modular biohybrid robot. Oscar was created by the integration of preserved living tissue with electronic modules, which supply a form of electrical stimulus to trigger movement. This is the striking difference in vascularity between this dude's right and left arm. This could be caused by reasons such as left arm dominance or a mere biological variation. This is a satisfying close-up of a modern pen plotter, drawing technical specifications of a combustion engine. This machine physically reproduces digital designs using a pen, saving the need for manual drafting. So this is how derailed train cars are re-railed and put back on track. Literally, they are slowly adjusted using specialized ramps which guide the train's wheels back into alignment. This is the power and core difference between the #1 ranked UFC fighter and a normal guy.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
This must have been a gut-wrenching experience. Get it? Gut-wrenching? This footage from the Cumbre Vieja volcano eruption in Spain shows the descent of a colossal molten boulder minutes before it destroyed several buildings on the Canary Island. The boulder was formed by a large broken chunk of volcanic crust rolling into a river of lava. Its magnified size was caused by the overaccumulation of more debris along its molten pathway. These are wildlife stills of the pudu, the world's smallest species of deer, typically only growing between 13 and 17 inches tall. They are a solitary yet endangered species, commonly found in dense temperate rainforests of southern Chile and Argentina. This hiker captured his own shadow floating in the mountain air. Bro farmed so hard he could see his aura floating in the mist at this mountaintop in Germany. Now this is what you call explosive quick thinking. I hate how painfully satisfying this is to watch, but it's definitely worth every penny spent. This cat was spotted sitting on top of Bolivia's 132-foot Cristo de la Concordia statue. You know, I'm starting to understand why these guys were worshipped as gods in ancient times. I've seen a bunch of very scary horror movies in my years of existence, but none of them come even remotely close to the abject horror I'm witnessing here. These are the prices of goods in Tuktoyaktuk, a remote Arctic community. Due to high transportation costs, limited competition, and a weaker Canadian dollar, the people of this community have to live this nightmare. AI is getting really scary, man. This clip of a giant inflatable of General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, Xi Jinping, almost fooled me. It's scary how quickly this ship sank after being struck by a missile. You see, this happened because the ship got ripped to shreds and was completely incapable of not taking on water, thus causing its sinking. If this was already obvious to you, then subscribe. This strong and independent dog doesn't need a man. He didn't have anyone to play with, so he just invented a game to entertain himself. This is Shotaro Oddities, a lead engineer at Honda. He is a highly accomplished engineer with over 250 patents and 9 published studies focused on automotive safety innovations. Also, he can bench press over 170 kilograms. Plus, he's also known for his kick-ass hairstyle. I'm really not sure what this driver was thinking or what they hoped to achieve with this, but this got them some generational aura debt for sure. These amazing 4th-generation apartments in Chengdu are the Chiyi City Forest Garden. The ambitious project, completed in 2018, was designed as a vertical forest, with every apartment featuring a large private balcony for planting trees and shrubs. The goal was to provide residents with a close-to-nature living experience and improve urban air quality. So this is just crazy. Apparently, ancient Egypt lasted so long that ancient Egyptian archaeology was actually a career in ancient Egypt. This one's for my British audience, a real-life, literal zebra crossing. And to the Americans, I'm sorry, but I couldn't find a clip of a cross crossing a road. This is white phosphorus, a chemical so reactive that it has to be stored underwater to prevent it from coming into contact with air. As it is highly highly reactive and will spontaneously ignite in oxygen, a process known as pyrophoricity. By keeping white phosphorus submerged, the water acts as a barrier, shielding it from atmospheric oxygen and preventing the heat-releasing exothermic reaction that causes it to catch fire. These indoor skydiving facilities use powerful vertical wind tunnels with high-speed, upward-flowing air to create a safe, stable column of wind that simulates the sensation of freefall, allowing people to fly. Giant fans create this wind, which is then recirculated and controlled to adjust to a flyer's weight and skill level, lifting them off their feet and keeping them suspended in the air. The world's largest time capsule was opened after 50 years. The time capsule, buried in 1975 by Harold Davison, a local furniture store owner, was designed to be opened exactly 50 years later. This is, a shark, just a regular great white. Do you think they'll realize I didn't plan out this outro at all?